Today marks 1233rd day sharing lessons I learned and continue to learn with all of you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. What happens? What happens when you have a fire on the table or anywhere and you put a cup on? What happens to that light? What happens to that fire? What happens to that spark? It disappears. It gets lost because it needs air, it needs oxygen, and if there's nothing that has oxygen, it's closed environment. Of course, the fire will not be uh, working. I think that exactly is in our lives. I think that sometimes we just put a cup on ourselves and we lose that spark of life. I think it's so important to have the spark because when you have that spark, when you have that light, everything becomes light. Everything becomes joyful. Everything becomes blissful. But if you lose that spark, when you lose that spark, that means life becomes much more dark. I think that sometimes every single person have a difficulty to really to keep that light. Maybe there's a massive storm and as a wind is blowing and that light is just twinkling. And then sometimes it seems that you will lose that spark altogether. Because it's not that easy to bring that spark back together, back on the fire. Of course you need to work hard to develop that. But today we'll share a little bit like about spark. Just real random thoughts and I think about because I think that every single person needs to think about what I'm able to do to really bring that spark and what I need to do to make that fire bigger. What I need to do to not allow my spark to distinguish, to disappear. So number one is that if you feel that might be that you don't have that spark, maybe you lost the spark in last year or last month or whatever it is, maybe last decade. What are the root cause that spark has got? And I will share a couple of things. I think that the number one reason why spark disappears is that you abandon yourself. You abandon yourself. And what I mean by that? I mean that when I think about the things that you want to do, the things that you want to pursue, the vision, the dreams, the passions, obsessions, what do you want to do internally? Not because other people told you to do, not because the social environment told you to do, not everything, but really being able to say, is this dream that I'm pursuing is because of me, or because the other person told that it's logical for me to do that? Something that sometimes is you are good at and it's logical to pursue is not the best thing for you because by pursuing the logical thing that you're what's supposed to do, you will lose your spark. You will lose your joy. You will lose your fulfillment. So it might be that you abandon yourself by pursuing something that is logical and sometimes is great things. Because I think that one of the biggest parts why people lose spark is that we're doing something good. Because when you're doing something bad, somebody says, no, exactly, this I lost my spark because I'm doing something bad. But when you're doing something good, it's very hard to really say that, oh, I'm supposed to be grateful. I think you're supposed to be grateful, but for different reasons. Because you're supposed to be grateful when you really do something about your life. And then say, like, I'm not willing to really do, I'm not willing to do good because I want to do right. And sometimes doing great is something that you want to do for yourself, not for any other, not for anyone else. Because I think that we sometimes we abandon ourselves because when validation, approval, all those things, and internally build ourselves is very important. Second thing that this is the root cause of losing the spark is that you go stuck in a survival mode. You've been in that survival mode for so long. You're living in those motions. You just like you're running on treadmill. You run, 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 but you're not getting anywhere. At that moment, at sometimes, of course, it's easy to lose spark because I think that we need to be adventurous. We need to really pursue things. We want to see the progress. But when you don't see the progress, you see that it's closed. It seems that everything is darker. There's less oxygen, there's less everything, and that the spark goes lower and lower. So that means we need to really ask, okay, what do I need to do to really get out of my survival mode? And when we're able to get out of survival mode in all aspects of our life, of course, much much easier to really sustain that the fire of our life. Number three, you lost touch with your primal energy. I think that sometimes we need to say, okay, when you think about childhood, what kind of child you were before all other people start to tell you what you're supposed to do. be, what you're supposed to act, how you're supposed to act. I think sometimes it's good to remember childhood, the personality that you used to have, and ask, is this personality that I would love to go back to? Because sometimes I think that because of childhood trauma, because of certain things that came up into our life, we change our personalities and we maybe split. And one personality is the good looking personality, and his other personality is something that you will love. So I think that we sometimes need to really go to primal energy and say, like, this is, I will be silly, I will pursue my desires, I will pursue my dreams, I will pursue fearlessly because that's exactly what I love to do. I think it's very, very important to go back to the really the primal energy that really elevates you. Number four, I think that it might be that you are suppressing the next version of yourself. And this is, I think that you are too big for the life that you live right now. I will repeat more about you. I think that you are too big for the life to live right now. Your new identity is waiting until you let it go, that past you, that old you. Of course, that old you is comfortable. There's a lot of comfort in there. But I think that we need to really say that a new version of me is waiting for me. Going and seeking that. I think that's really allows you to really have that fire. But when you really ignore that, avoid that, and afraid of that, of new version of you, and maybe say that I'm not enough of that new version, and being able to say that I'm I'm enough. I think that we're able to really bring that fire together. I think that that's the hard truth is that your spark is waiting where you don't want to look. That's the hard truth. Because I think that every single person has a room in their mind, and sometimes when you think about all that fire, and it's a lot of times is in some part of your mind, some part of your life, and some parts of your life you say that this are is like in potential rooms in the house. And so that this is I love it to go in this room, I love to go to this room, I love to go to this room, but this room, no, this is closed doors, locked with 10 locks. I never go to that room. I think that is actually what we do with our lives, with our character, with our pursuits. Sometimes we just lock some parts of ourselves. We lock our dreams, and we, for some reason, believe that we're not supposed to do that. So, what are those things? Sometimes we just avoid conversations. I think that sometimes we avoid the conversations that lead to procrastination, and because we lead to procrastination destroys our spark, it destroys our fire. It could be dreams that you keep dismissing. You want to pursue the dream, but you're not pursuing it because you're not pursuing the dream. Your spark of the dream goes lower and lower and lower. We need to give to the spark more air, visualize things to make sure that we able to enhance that fire, not to decrease it. I think that it could be that the risks that we don't take. Maybe you said that I want to have stability, I want security, and we don't take risks. And then we are able to ask you, what do you need to do? What kind of stability do you need to have? Like, let's build that small stability. If you need stability, let's build that stability. But let's take those risks that you could engage in that spark, engage that fire. And might be the truth that you don't want to admit. That means that you think about yourself and about the skills that you have, about the character that you have. And maybe there are some truths, some weaknesses that you have. And you're not willing to accept it. I know that we don't want to accept our weakness, but that's the truth. We have weakness. Every single person has weaknesses. And what is the beautiful part about accepting your weaknesses, admitting your weakness, admitting your mistakes, is that now you're able to fix it. Now you have full control of it. Now you're able to look for solutions. Now you're able to be better. So admitting is the first and most important step. And until you admit it, your spark is going down because you're not working on making things better. And again, as a last one, that is like the rooms, rejecting rooms, is sometimes rejecting part of ourselves and asking, who are, who am I, who are we, and then asking like this part, I'm okay with that, and this part of me I don't accept it, I don't want that. And this is probably you have heard shadow work, understanding the the probably the worst parts of you, and look into how we could integrate that shadow into me, how we could integrate those worst parts of me, how we could integrate those parts of me that I don't like. because there's a lot of power in that. Because a lot of times, I love that life is always duality. There is black and white. There is night and day. There's always everything is dual, and exactly is with weaknesses and strengths. Every single weakness has some kind of other side strength, and when we're able to look into that, I think that we're able to improve our life. So, what is that wake up call? How to really make sure that we have that spark? How do you get fire back? I think that that's first is just admit that we are playing small, admitting that we're doing something maybe good, but that good is not great, and that good is small because you're able to do so much more than good. We're able to do great. We're able to do expert level things. But if you do mediocre things, we'll stay there. So admitting that maybe I'm playing small and I want playing safe, not risking enough. I want to take risks. I want to pursue. I want to really be doing something. But because if we play small, we are held back by that. Number two, I think that's something that we need to really get out of our head and move into our bodies, in our heart. Because we get lost in our head. We're thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. Thinking is great because a lot of people don't think. But I think that when you overthink and you're looking for 100% knowledge, you'll never get it. Never get there. And sometimes that spark is internally in that emotion. Because I love that. When you think about really vision's supposed to be set by our heart. And then of course we sometimes think, okay, what kind of steps could I take to really get there? But if we think about with our head about the vision, sometimes we will not take any action because we in our head and think, oh, I'm not able to achieve that. Start to think about all the things all the bad possibilities. Heart doesn't care about possibilities. Heart thinks about what do I really want. So going back into your body, what your body wants to pursue, and that's where we can really go and back in to find that spark again. Number three is that destroy the old identity that's hold you back. So okay, I think that's maybe it's not the best example, but like snakes are taking their skin out and they will get into a new version, bigger version of themselves. I think that we are not snakes, but I think that we need to really remove that identity and really leave that behind. Because sometimes if you really want to really go to new identity, you're not able to have old and new identity together. So that means we need to really remove ourselves of this old identity to really bring that new identity. I love there's a lot of great speakers who said that some of these people say that I need to die inside. That old identity need to die inside to really bring a new version of themselves to be born. Number four, say yes to what scares you. I think this is probably one of the best advice to anyone in life. Do what scares you. Because a lot of times people are waiting for courage, looking for confidence, but you'll never the courage and confidence will come never come. I think that's one of the best advice that I got as well is do what scares you without courage. Do what scares you without confidence. Because when you will do that, you will get confidence and courage by doing that. This is one of the best advices. Because now you have control of your life. Because now you know you're not looking, you're not waiting for something to have. You're able to do. Okay, I say yes. I'm scared of it. I'm able to do it, and I think that it's very important to really start small. But when you're able to really implement that one thing, say yes to the things that you scare you, that will bring a lot of fire. A lot of times you will be stressed, but that fire is better than really be depressed or concerned about your life in general. Number five is unleash your creativity and wild energy, and that means that really trying new things. Like sometimes when we lost a spark, the best thing to do really try because we don't know what maybe we don't know ourselves and then go experience do things experience things. Try, go to nature, explore different things, new places, new rooms, new companies, new members, everything new, like singing, dancing, playing sports, like whatever it is, just do unleash that energy and try everything, and that will bring a lot of spark. And I think that number six, it could be burn the bridges. That's a big thing, is that's it's almost like leaving that identity behind, leaving the old habit behind, leaving old people behind, leaving a lot of people behind that really because it might be that all the environment that you've been was really putting water on or putting that cup on your fire, and that's why it's going down. And it's like this environment is not for me. I'm going to new environment where I could be allowing this fire to flourish like a new flower that will bloom. It's very, very important to really burn the bridges and leave the places that is not helping you. Number seven, choose aliveness every single day. I think that when you think about aliveness, is that how we could really be more alive at this moment. What could they do? What could I do at this certain moment? Because I think that we lose power because we live in the past. We lose power because we live in the future. But when you think about being alive is being able to be present. So when you sit in a moment, you say like, how it could be more alive right now? And I think sometimes just really sitting on a bench in the park and looking in the sky and seeing the clouds and having that wow moment. Because I know when I'm able to be present and really look into stars, looking to clouds, looking and hearing the wind blowing. That is again feeling alive. And when you feel alive, your spark is flourishing. Again, and asking yourself, what could I do in this present moment to really feel more alive? And this is very powerful. I hope that you will never allow your spark to really disappear, and you will always work to really to make that fire bigger and bigger and bigger. Because I think that's what is beautiful is that when you have spark, you're able to take care of yourself. But when you have massive fire inside you, that means that you are able to bring those sparks to other people because there's a lot of people around us is working without sparkless. And you're able to have that massive fire in you, you're able to bring sparks to other people. Because as you know that when you see a massive fire, and maybe even a forest on fire, or maybe a big house on fire, you're always afraid that other houses will catch on the fire. I think that in life, when people we're supposed to be around those people who are really sparkling. They have so much fire that they just sparks going into different directions because I think that that's as one of the key aspects. When you do not have a spark in your life, you need to find people who have so much fire that they just bring so much sparks. And it might be that you will catch one of those sparks and really you will be able to build that fire that you will be able to bring those sparks to other people as well. Such a powerful thing because I think that when you lost your spark and you were able to bring that spark again and you build that fire, you will be able to inspire others to really live a life, more beautiful life with fire inside of them. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.